Hey everybody, welcome back to the Royal Read. I am so glad you decided to stop by and see what I'm reading on. But before we get started, you already know, go right down here, go in your settings, find that subscribe button, and go ahead on and subscribe. And while you're in there, hit your notification bell so you'll know when I upload or when I just want to pop in. And give me a thumbs up to fight my nemesis, that beast, that algorithm. It has me by my neck. And also, right about here, that's our join button. That's for channel memberships. And if you choose to become a channel member and a part of the reading club, you will be supporting my channel to grow, to improve, and to continue. And I will be so grateful, so thankful, so appreciative for your support. Also, if you just want to do a one-time donation, our super thanks button is right over there. All donations to this channel is always greatly appreciated. All right, with all that said, let's get to the read. And when I was putting the read together today, y'all, of course, I was up and down and all around in these internet streets. I was over to Blue Sky, and Blue Sky is coming along greatly. I'm telling you, a lot of the squatties are starting to migrate over there, and I am so pleased. It's just one complaint I have with Blue Sky, and they don't have the bookmark feature. I love that bookmark where when I can bookmark posts and I can go back and find them. They don't have that on Blue Sky, but hopefully that'll be coming soon, and all the squads will get over there, and we can leave X, formerly known as Twitter, in the rear view mirror. Also, I was over to TikTok, and TikTok people are really talking about the promo that Netflix dropped for Polo. They are so excited about that because it's not what we expected. We thought it was going to be a lot of action, polo action and a lot of the fundamentals of polo. No, it's not going to be about that. It's going to be about beautiful people and messiness and polo. And it looks like it's going to be a hit. And everybody over on TikTok, they're really excited about that. And the Derangers are excited about it too because the Rangers are in a tizzy about it because they smell a hit. And of course, they're trying to attack everything, talking about they need to call PETA about the horses and all kinds of nonsense they up to. But yes, that's what they're talking about on TikTok. And of course, I made my way back to X, formerly known as Twitter, and they are talking about everything just like they are over to Instagram, just all over the place, but mostly talking about Megan and her interview in Marie Claire about her having this holiday dinner with these refugee women. And everybody's excited about that, but they're also dragging Charles, dragging William. That's what they do on the daily nowadays, to drag William. And they even dragging Kate a little bit. And we know we drug Camilla yesterday with that nonsense she was up to. But yes, that's some of the things that are going on. So let's get to it. We have a lot. And I am going to start with this. And this says exclusive Meghan Markle hosts heartfelt holiday dinner for Afghan women starting new lives in America. And this is in Marie Claire. And it says the Duchess of Sussex sat down with Marie Claire to discuss the Archwell Foundation Welcome Project and her own holiday traditions with Prince Harry, Prince Archie, and Princess Lilibeth. Yes. And I'm going to put this up. And this particular squatty said this: the busy Sussexes. Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, extends her kindness and warmth to Afghan refugee women by hosting a joyous holiday dinner. Meghan's heart is always open to those who face hardships and challenges. Where is the lie in that? Because you can just look back on all the charity work Meghan has done, and that string runs through it all. She always gravitates to people who have had hardships and facing some kind of challenges. She comes in and she does what she can to help them. And it's just a running theme in her life. And I just love that. I love that. All right, we're gonna put this up. And I found this on Sussex.com. And of course, that's Harry and Meghan's website. And it says a grateful gathering. It says, in celebration of Thanksgiving, Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, and the Archwell Foundation host a heartfelt dinner for the Southern California Welcome Project. This initiative, led by the partner organization MENA List, has spent the past year building community through storytelling and creating a safe space for women who have resettled in the U.S. from Afghanistan. It says the evening included a shared meal and encouraged open conversations centered on gratitude and resilience. The Duchess expressed her deepest appreciation to the attendees for sharing their personal stories and cultural experiences, underscoring their excitement for future gatherings that continue to strengthen their connections. It says the dinner was hosted at our place, and it says through her work, the Archwell Foundation, the Duchess remains committed to uplifting women and fostering community through shared experience, reinforcing the importance of unity and support during challenging times. Oh, I love it. I love it. And it's my understanding, I saw in Marie Claire that Megan even gifted the women with cookware so they would have cookware to cook their holiday meals. I love it. I love it. I'm going to put this up, and it says how Princess Meghan's charity work was reported in the UK versus the US. Well, we know the difference. They don't smear her in the US. They don't attack her in the US. They don't denigrate her work in the US. They just report what she's doing. I remember when Meghan was a working royal and she was having one success right after another. And it was like it was the press's job to pick her apart, to find anything they could or make up anything that they could to smear her with or to denigrate her with or to tear her down. What about Camilla Tomney? And this is featured in this particular post where Megan was working with the women of Grenville in the hub kitchen and they came up with the Together cookbook, and it was a smash hit, selling out. I mean, just shooting to the top on the Amazon's bestsellers list. And what does Camilla Tominey do? She go and write this horrible hit piece on Megan and those women of the hub kitchen, smearing them, lying, smearing. That's what the British media did. And that's the difference. And you can see it in Marie Claire, how they just absolutely report what Meghan is doing, and that's it. No smearing, no agenda, no smear campaign, nothing. I'm just saying. All right, I'm going to put this up. And this is, I think, a new online magazine or newspaper, and it's called The Conversation. And I found this article, and a lot of the squatties are discussing it on X, formerly known as Twitter, in their post threads. And it's the name of the article is "What's Fueling the Media's Enduring Hate Campaign Against Meghan Markle?" Isn't that a question? Isn't that a question? But let's get into the article. It says earlier this year, the Daily Beast published a story that contained highly derogatory accusations about the Duchess of Sussex, Meghan Markle, quoting anonymous sources. And that's what they do. That's what they use to smear. And it says the piece was apparently aimed to refute the early story in the U.S. Weekly that praised Markle and her management styles and featured people quoted by name. Let me refresh y'all's memory about this. Y'all remember Josh Kettler? He was Harry and Meghan's chief of staff, and he stayed there for 6 months. And that is the person that they used to smear Harry and Meghan with, saying that they could not keep staff and on and on and on. And my whole thing is, and I have said this in previous podcasts, evidently it doesn't work the same in the UK as it does here in America because people change jobs all the time here. And if it's not a fit, they move on, or if they find something better, they level up. It's no big deal. But evidently, you have to hold on to staff for a lifetime in the UK in order to be considered a good business person. I must be reading it wrong, but this is what these trash newspapers are trying to indicate. But I digress. They use Josh Kettler to beat Harry and Meghan up with. And one of the people who are named and put his name to what he had to say, all these good things about Harry and Meghan as their management skills, talking about their management skill, was Josh Kettler, was the guy who was the chief of staff for 6 months. Now, did he discuss why he left after 6 months? He did not, because that's his business. But he said it had nothing to do with Harry and Meghan. But yet and still, they tried to use him. And then when he came out, put his name to it and said, no, it's not like that. They start using unknown sources. They used palace sources. And they called her, and the particular article they're talking about is they call her the devil and they call her a psychopath in it. They did. And all of this use unnamed sources. So let's go on. It says the Daily Beast piece written by a British born journalist. We all know who that is. That's Tom Sykes. Was another example of a well established pattern of relentless negative media framing of Markle. It says the framing is readily identifiable by conducting a simple Google News search on her name. Meghan, in fact, recently described herself as being one of the most bullied people in the world, which was met with more online bullying. Where is the lie? I did a podcast about it. How in the world somebody said they bullied and then you go bully them about being bullied? It's ridiculous. Although tabloid gossip is a feature of many celebrities' life, the long-standing and seemingly orchestrated media campaign against Markle, a private citizen who left the United Kingdom almost 5 years ago and hasn't spoken publicly about the royal family in years, is exceptional. Where is the lie? It's been half a decade and they are still relentless in their lies and their smears. There has even been accusations of British media outlets attempting to pay people to lie about her. And we all know that they absolutely did that because you remember Simon Rex came out and said that one of the tabloids had offered him $70,000 to lie and say he had slept with Meghan. I'm going to put it right here. I found this on the Today website and you can go and Google it, and it's just absolutely article after article was written because he made it very, very much public that they did that. They wanted to smear her. And this was prior to them getting married. They were trying to smear her so they can just miss me with all this nonsense that they welcomed her with open arms and sung Kumbaya. They can stop it. They were really after her from the beginning. And then they go on to say Early on in their relationship, the Daily Mail ran a highly controversial piece with the headline Harry's Girl Almost Straight Out of Compton Gang Scored Home of Her Mother Revealed. So will he be dropping by for tea? It said, nonetheless, the couple's wedding received generally favorable media coverage from the diverse array of outlets. And the reason they had positive coverage during the wedding is because all the eyeballs was on it. The world's eyeballs was looking, and so they didn't want to show their racist face. They didn't want to show their agenda, their plan, because what we didn't know at the time, they had been working behind the scenes trying to stop the wedding. They had went down, sent the flying monkeys down to Mexico to sabotage and convince somehow that Carolyn Graham woman convinced, and we all know, I all I can say is how I feel she did it. Convince Thomas Markle Sr. to pretty much participate in sabotaging his own daughter's wedding. And all that was going on. We didn't know anything about it. I really feel William and Charles was behind that. And so here we are. Then they go on and talk about how when Harry and Meghan left and how the relentless attacks have not ceased, and that it is pretty much, they pretty much went on to prove that yes, it is not our imaginations, it is not something that we have made up, that this is an orchestrated smear campaign against this couple because they decided to leave, that they decided to go, and because they were too good at their jobs. So this particular article just proves all of that, and I love it. And like I said, if you have a chance to read it, it is online. The name of the online magazine is The Conversation, and it is so good. And all right, I'm gonna put this up. And this squatty makes such a great point. It said, once again, Kitty promotes herself as the family always does, while Megan promotes causes and community, who's living a life of service to others. And basically, they put side by side two articles that have been written by the two women. Kate is promoting herself, that Christmas carol thing she's doing, and it's all about her. If you have ever saw anything about that Christmas Carol thing that she puts together every year, it is to showcase her. It is Earthflop. Just like Earthflop was created to showcase William, this Christmas Carol thing was created to center Kate. And but Megan is always doing things to showcase others. I'm gonna put this picture up, and this is one of the pictures of Megan with one of the Afghan women. And as you see, Megan always put their face to the camera, unlike Kate, who, even in a situation with a cancer victim, she put her face up front. I'm just saying. And I'm gonna put this up, and this is so funny because uh, this particular squatty is poking fun at the Daily Fail because the Daily Fail did not have any new pictures of Megan. It reported on Megan, they couldn't use the pictures from Archwell, and they couldn't use some pictures from Marie Claire. So they had to use, in order to report this particular story about Megan and the holiday meal or the holiday dinner that she was having with these Afghan women. They had to use old pictures, and this particular squatter said, meanwhile, the fail has to use old photos of Megan with hub women. And I love that for them. I love the fact that Megan has gotten so petty that she won't even let them use the pictures anymore. Serve them up dust. And I love that. I'm just saying. All right, y'all, we're going to change gears a little bit. And I found this on GB News, and it is that time of year. them begging to see Archie and Lily, them talking about how Harry and Meghan been snubbed for Christmas. They're not coming home. They're not coming over to across the pond for Christmas. We get all of that. And I found this in GB News, and it says Harry and Meghan urged to end Archie and Lily's sad divide from William and King Charles. I don't see Charles or William acting in a manner that would be seductive for these children to have anything to do with them, because they have done nothing but attack their parents. And Archie, in particular, his life was put in jeopardy by his grandfather and his uncle. So I don't know what these people are talking about. It's as if they think we have some kind of Alzheimer's or memory loss or something, that we forget that these are the same people, Charles and William, who left Archie out on that island in Vancouver and pretty much dropped a dime on his location, and he was a infant. But yet and still, they want us to believe that somehow it's all Harry and Meghan's fault, talking about Harry and Meghan urged to end Archie and Lilibet's sad divide from William and Charles. And y'all remember that time when uh, Archie was born and they asked William about him, about having a nephew. And you know what he said? I already have a nephew. He was talking about Pippa's Pippa's child, and that he knew they were talking about Archie, but he had to be just that pale. Let's see what the article says. It says Prince Harry and Meghan has been urged to end Archie and Lilibet's sad divide from Prince William and King Charles, according to a royal commentator. Former BBC royal correspondent Jenny Bonds believes that Harry and Meghan's recent decision to buy a property in Portugal is an effort to end the divide between the royal family. Boy, that's a stretch, isn't it? It couldn't just be a vacation home, and we don't even know if that is even true. And I'm thinking, if it is true, Eugenie is not to be trusted. I don't see why Harry and Meghan is going over there where Eugenie's at, because she is clearly not to be trusted, because she is running off at the mouth and either telling Sarah Ferguson can't hold water. She's just like a leaky bucket, or they didn't do it at all and they made it all up. But who knows? We don't know. But it says Archie and Lily have spent very little time in the UK, despite being sixth and seventh in line to the throne, and have not spent much time with their royal cousins. And you know, we talked about this in a past podcast. We think that might be a good thing, because we all know that George and Charlotte and Louis look like very sweet children right now, but they also are being raised within the firm. You can put perfectly great children in the firm and they come out to be vipers. They turn out to be snakes. And so Harry and Meghan are aware of this. And why would they expose Archie and Lily to that? Because Archie and Lily are going to grow up to be very, very famous people, because they are children of very, very famous people. And it's going to be a lot of jealousy there. Why would you expose them to that situation? Like I said, Charlotte, Louis, and George are like lovely, lovely children right now. But we all know that the end product don't turn out to be like that when you are raised in the firm. It is something that is ingrained in you that makes you want to be jealous of one another. Not only is George going to have a problem with Archie and Lily, he's going to have problems with his own siblings and his father. Look at William, how William is snaking Charles. In due time, George is going to be snaking William. This is how the firm works. And why in the world would you want to raise your children within that? And look at Harry was raised with his cousins, and look at his cousins. They are just a bunch of vipers. So Jenny, you can forget about that one. Let's go on. It says, John praised the idea that the royal children would strengthen their connection with Harry's side of the family. That is not a family. Prince Philip got it right when he said, it's not a family, it's a firm. And Archie and Lily, sweet little Archie and Lily, needs to stay as far away from them people as they possibly can. She added, they are estranged from almost all of them. To know that their grandfather and uncle were both kings and they did not know them? King, yes. I mean, so what? When you are Charles and William, I mean, where's the flex there? That your uncle and your your uncle and your grandfather was king. And my whole thing is, he also knows too that his grandfather and his uncle left him out on the island to die. Dropped a dime on his location and told the wolves where to find him. I'm just saying. So they can just stop. They can miss me with that. It says she told OK that the Portugal house does suggest that Harry and Meghan want the children to experience European culture and to get to know Eugenie's kids. Okay, perhaps we shall finally see some pictures of the Sussex brood playing with their cousins. Do you know how much money that picture would bring for them? It probably would save GB News from having to beg and scrimp and scrape. If Archie and Lily would come out and just be amongst Charlotte and George and Louis, or just take a picture with Charles, do you know how much that picture would be worth? And they know that. And this is them begging for it. It says it may well be that Donald Trump back in the White House, Harry and Meghan might spend more time in their Portugal house, at least in the school holidays. Just hoping and wishing. They bet on the wrong horse. They thought the shine was with the crown. And in actuality, the shine is in Montecito. But you remember they were begging for that shot, talking about when big Lilibet meet little Lilibet. And they were begging for that shot after they had bullied this baby about her name when she was just a few days old when her parents announced that she was born and that they were going to name her Lilibet. And they didn't do nothing but write article after article and sit on panels and then make racist comments and posts about her. Yet and still, they want Lilibet and Archie to come back to the UK after they done did all of that and make them some money. Stop it. All right, yeah, I'm gonna put this up. And this particular squatty posted this. And she didn't make a comment or anything like that, but this is the article from the Daily Mail talking about Meghan having this luncheon. It says the Duchess of Sussex has hosted a holiday dinner in Los Angeles for women who have resettled in the United States from Afghanistan. But I'm not going to go through all that. The really, really highlighted thing that this particular squatty wanted us to see was right down there. You see it underlined? It said, admitting that she loved the holiday season, she revealed that seeing it through the eyes of the king's grandchildren made it increasingly special. Now, Megan didn't say that. She said in the eye, seeing it through the eyes of her children, but they changed it and said They know that Archie and Lily is Charles's grandchildren. Because they don't act like that when it's time to go to Balmoral. Don't nobody be up there except his step grandchildren. His real grandchildren are nowhere to be found. But yes, they want to claim. Now, they definitely want to claim Archie and Lily. They are on a crusade to try to get those children across the pond. They are. And they absolutely put that there. The king's grandchildren. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And makes it increasingly special, saying every year it gets better. Mm-hmm. Claiming them, claiming them, claiming them. And then said Meg said Prince Harry's wife. Y'all see that right down there? Prince Harry's wife said she loved the fact that her children was appreciating the Thanksgiving and holiday season and can't wait to see it through their lens every year. The king's the king's grandchildren. Stop it, y'all. Stop it, stop it, stop it. All right, I'm gonna put this up. And I'm telling you, they are dragging Charles. And it's because of that coronation, that kind of nation we called it. And the price tag has come in. And people are not happy with it at all. And of course, the Guardian had to write a piece about it, and I'm going to put it up here. And it says, obscene anger after cost of King Charles' coronation revealed. And it is sickening when you think about it. They say it cost 72 million pounds. And it is children right now. It is children right now in the UK can't afford lunch. Can't afford lunch. But yet and still, this man is riding around in a gold carriage and spending 72 million pounds just to put a hat on his head. I'm telling you, UK, I'm not sitting on a high horse and judging y'all because I live in the US and we all know how things are here. So don't think that I am judging y'all, but whew, that's crazy. Now we got some crazy stuff going on too, but that's crazy. Let's go on. It said official figures put price of event at 72 million pounds, but anti-monarchy group Republic says the real cost is likely much more. What do you want to bet is much more? What you want to bet that the Republic group is absolutely right? Because when they can hide something, they try to hide it. Yeah, it's more. Of King Charles in May 2023 cost the taxpayer at least 72 million pounds, official figures have revealed. 72 million pounds to watch Charles put a big hat on and all those stolen jewels. Can you imagine? This is insanity. This is insanity when you really think about it. This man who has no qualification no more than slipping out of the right birth canal. And these people who can't, a lot of them cannot even afford lunch for their kids. The taxpayer of Great Britain is spending 72 million pounds to crown this human being so he can roll down the street, they can wave at him in a golden carriage. I'm telling you, when you say it out loud like that, it is so ridiculous. 72 million pounds. That is crazy to me. It said the coronation ceremony was attended by dignitaries from around the world and star-studded concert. And yeah, and they had everybody in the concert was Americans, but they somehow hate Americans. At least they, I mean, his American daughter-in-law, he hates her. He clearly does. I'm just saying. And what did Megan do to him except be successful? And that's one thing that they cannot stand. That's one thing the Windsors cannot stand is success when it's not theirs. When it's other people's success, they cannot handle it. It is the weirdest thing. I'm just saying. And I'm going to put this up. And this particular person said this: high time that this rancid institution is abolished. Obscene anger at the cost of King Charles' coronation revealed. And like I said, this is not going to help Charles because this is coming out on the heels of that C4 dispatch and what is it, C4 dispatch and Sunday Times documentary on Channel 4 is coming, is coming right behind that. And people found out that he got his fingers in everything. He is getting money even from the NHS. He's getting money from all over the place. And I don't know how, I don't see how they're going to make it through. I mean, they might sleepwalk they might be like zombies and walk their way through for a while. But I think they're dead men walking. I really do. I think the people of Great Britain have finally woken up because when you see all them empty barriers, woo, they really have woken up. They do not feel that these people are worth it anymore. I'm just saying. I'm going to put this up. And this particular person says this: 630 British children live in absolute poverty because of the two-child benefit cap. But we had a spare 72 million pounds of taxpayer money to pay for Charlie's coronation. King Charles' coronation cost taxpayer 72 million pounds. And every time they go and want to try to do a documentary on benefit scroungers, you can go on YouTube here on this app, and it is a whole series about benefit scroungers. They go to the poor, they villainize the poor. But in actuality, the biggest recipient of welfare and social programs are at the top. And the tippy top in this particular case, Peter Hunt, and he used to work in the government, said it is rare to get the cost of security for a royal event. I'm sure the BBC will correct the suggestion here that Charles contributed to his coronation via his private income from the Duchy of Lancaster. He didn't. The taxpayer paid for the event. Of course he did. They just did that so it'll go down better. They absolutely do stuff like that. And they have the British media in a headlock and they say whatever needs to be said to try to keep the British people under control. But it's really starting to slip from their fingers because it started with Channel 4. Channel 4 has been coming with the hard hitting documentaries. And The Guardian has been coming with the hard hitting stories. And this comes on the heel of that documentary. I'm telling you, the British people are tired of this nonsense. I can sense it. I really can. That's all I can say. I'm going to put this up, and this particular person says this: agreed. They live in a fairy tale land of lords and ladies and hope that one day that they or their children will marry into this family. Look at Wadey Katie. Look at Kate. Why would anybody want to be a part of that family? Because that's what has held it up all this time, the mystique of it all. But the mystique went down in the vault with Elizabeth II, and I don't think it's coming back. I'm just saying. But it says it is absolutely bizarre, and it is bizarre. And now it's becoming undesirable. People don't want to be in that family. It used to be the pinnacle of society. And now nobody don't want to have nothing to do with that nonsense because they understand that nobody comes out of it unshaved. Look at Kate when she went into that family and look at her now. It's as if bloodsuckers have been sucking the life out of her. And Megan, I'm telling you, when Megan got on there and was talking about nobody has checked on her, you could see it. Her soul was slowly being drained from her. She don't even look like the same person anymore. Now that she's gotten away from them people. It is bizarre. It's absolutely bizarre. It says the UK government has the nerve to talk about other countries' leadership. Bugger off. I'm just saying. It is horrible. It's horrible. And this squatty that said this under it, it says, how are people with fully functioning brains in the UK okay with this? Now that's a question, isn't it? How indeed? It says 72 million for the effing shiny hat party, while pensioners are going to freeze this winter. Families are starving and using food banks. The whole thing is a effing pee take. Abolish the now. This squatty has got a potty mouth. Every time I read this squatty's tweets, I have to be really careful because she has a potty mouth. And I love her. I love her. I do. When she was answering back Richard Palmer, who Richard Palmer had said the King Charles coronation cost the UK taxpayers 72 million. The government report says the royal household also incurred some extra costs. He know that's a lie. He know that's a lie. The taxpayers paid every dime of it. That's what Peter Hunt was just saying. And they let Charles ride around, Charles of all people, mediocre Charles, ride around in a golden carriage with his horse. With his horse. It's crazy to me. It is bizarre. Just like this person said, absolutely bizarre. I put this up, and this was in the Daily Fail, and it said, William booed in Usler, Charles heckled in Oz, Republicans are on the march, and we monarchists fear some of their arguments are all too persuasive. And that was in the Fail. Charles and them in trouble. Charles and them are in trouble. And this is what the Post said, and it is from I guess, an organization called Labor for a Republic. And they posted this. They said, oh, they posted this over that, and they said, normally compliant Daily Mail reporting on the demise of the royals and accepting that the argument for a republic is all too persuasive. The royal days as head of state are numbered. And I just love that for Charles and William. I do. I just love that for them because it's deserved. They had it within their hands. They had it. They had the golden ticket, Megan, that would have set them up for another good 100 years. Because Archie and Lily and all of them would come up. They had the golden ticket, but they fumbled the bag, and I'm glad they did. Because I don't believe in monarchy. I don't believe in a divine right to claim that you are better than someone else just because you slipped out of a certain birth canal. And these people are horrible, horrible people. Hide behind these walls. Look at Camilla. Camilla is a horrible individual, and she is considered the queen. So, no, 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 no. I love it for them. I do. All right, I wanted to put this up because Kitty Cat's folks is starting to miss her. The people at the Daily Fail and the Daily Mirror, because she missed the dignitary. I mean, what is the diplomatic reception? She missed that, and they missed their money. And so they miss her so bad that they had this little montage of some of the outfits that she has worn in the past. Because basically, that's all they get from her now. And it says, Kate dazzling royal variety fashion moment shows why she will be missed at this year's event. They miss her because that's all they got. She is all they have. Because who in the world want to see Camilla in that sack she had on? She looked horrible. She looked absolutely horrible. And so did Charles. They looked like two old people. They did. That needed to be in the bed early. It was no glamour there. It was nothing there. It was so boring. And the Daily Mail is mad about that because at the end of the day, glamour is their bread and butter. And Kate was not there. It was nobody to put on the front page the next day. And they had a problem with that. So they decided to write this article talking about Kate dazzling royal variety fashion moment show why she will be missed at this year's event. They miss having her on the front page because she can sell a few newspapers, a few, but Camilla cannot sell nary one. Squatty says this, benched and the coach ain't bringing her back on the field anytime soon. The sycophants are fuming. And where is the lie? Where is the lie? They are mad. They are mad. Y'all remember this when I knew it was trouble back then. And this was back in 2022, something like that, 2021, 22, when they went on that Mary Berry Christmas special. And William tried to touch her arm, and Kate just recoiled from him. Y'all remember that? This particular squatty said this, it's because they sleep in separate beds. They are fooling themselves. We can all see that they aren't together. And I must say, I agree with them. It is something going on there. You know what I said about all them puzzle pieces on the table. And it might, the divorce piece might just fit. It's something going on. And I keep going back to what Byron said about them pulled pork sandwiches. And all these gay men that surround William with all these beards. I don't know. It might be something, something, something. Now, I'm just going to throw this out. And this is just something I'm throwing out. It's nothing that I have any idea is true or not, or whatever happened on December the 28th. Now, we know something happened on December the 28th. We know that. We don't know who it happened to and what happened. But we all know that the only person that was in the hospital after December the 28th was Kate. So we assume that it happened to her. What if something went down that she found out something that was going on with William? She called him out, he got angry, and somehow she got hurt. I'm just throwing that out there. I'm just trying to make these puzzle pieces, these puzzle pieces fit because they are all on this table and they are not making sense to me, y'all. And all these gay men around this man. And I'm saying, that is not the norm for someone, a straight male, to have that many gay people in his employ. I'm just telling you, right, wrong, or indifferent, that's the way straight men think. They just are. They just like that. But everybody in his employ close to him are gay men. I'm just saying. And something happened. I'm going to put this up, y'all. And it says, I still cannot believe. And this is from a woman. She is not a squatty. And she is still under the impression and she still believes that Kate has cancer, but she don't understand Kate's behavior in it all. And she says this, I still cannot believe Kate chose not to use her immense platform to educate and advise others about her symptoms and the type of cancer. It's appalling and a missed opportunity to raise awareness that could save lives. Who gonna tell her? Who gonna tell her, y'all? I'll tell you who gonna tell her. Let's go to the comments. I race to the comments. And these are some of the comments from that post. Like I said, who gonna tell her? She can't advise on what she knows nothing about. Probably about precancerous cells. Yes, she can talk about a pap smear. And this one said, how can you give advice about an affliction you never had? Speaking to somebody with cancer in detail would immediately expose her as a liar. She needs to keep mum until she is exposed by a source from KP or BP. This particular squatty thinks she's going to eventually be exposed by an anonymous source. How can you advise people who are really suffering and dying from cancer that PR, fake photos, and fake double farm appearances when rolling in the field commercial is the way to beat precancer? And this one says, because it was a big fat lie. Kind of makes you think she never had it, does it? There is no way a person gets cancer, has surgery, is cared for months, have chemo and all of its challenges, which destroys you to build you back up again with all the support is required for others and doesn't platform cancer. A good point. A good point. All right, I'm going to put this up. And I just found this so interesting. I have made this point before that when Kate is speaking, he just cannot take it. He look at his face, look at him and her, and Kate looks horrible in this picture. Kate looks horrible in this picture. And it says, look at this picture. Does it look like Willie wants to be anywhere near Kate? He doesn't even seem to be interested in doing his job. And that's been going on for a while. He'll give that little fake smile of his, and he looks horrible. And this picture is him. He has gone down since this picture was taken. He actually looks pretty decent in this picture. But he has gone down since then. He looks really, really, really bad now. But Kate looks really bad now. She just looks aged. She doesn't look like she has gone through cancer. She just looks really aged, and especially around the mouth. She is melting. She is literally melting. She is melting. She is literally melting. I'm just saying. I'm going to put this up, and it says the law of distinguished return is hitting the tabloids hard, and their influence is fading fast. The tabloids are losing their grip on Harry and Meghan. Tabloids are losing their grip on Harry and Meghan. For years, the British tabloids had feasted on Prince Harry and Meghan. Every outfit, every word, every glance has been picked apart and twisted and spun into sensational headlines. But it's but a funny thing is happening. Their relentless attacks seems to be losing steam. I have been saying that for a while. Stuff that they say now and they do now, I actually laugh at. I don't get all hyped up about anymore because people have the ability to see through it now in a lot of ways. Now, does that mean I'm going to stop the pushback? Absolutely not. It means that they are losing steam. We are winning. That's what it means. It says, but a funny thing is happening. Their relentless attacks seem to be losing steam. What once whipped the public into a frenzy now barely raises an eyebrow. The law of diminishing return is hitting the tabloids hard, and their influence is fading fast. When Harry and Meghan first stepped back from serving Harry's father and brother, the tabloids had a field day. Accusations flew thick and fast. They were labeled ungrateful, rebellious, and worse. But time has a way of wearing down even the most outrageous stories. The same old criticism starts to feel stale. Where is the lie? People tune out. Scandal is only sticks if they feel fresh. And this relentless recycling of anti Sussex rhetoric is growing tired. Where is the lie? Where is the lie? Because it's the same thing. I say it all the time. It's been half a decade now. Move on. And you think I'm the only person saying that? The British people are saying move on. Why don't you pay attention to this man who is absolutely picking our pockets every day, rolling around in a golden carriage? Give him some of that smoke instead of a couple who is 5,000 miles away minding their business and ain't said nothing to you. It's getting old. It's that Harry and Meghan has also changed the game by telling their own story through interviews, documentaries, and books. And they've taken back control of the narrative. That is true too. I have saw it in real time where they actually use Harry's book Spare as a reference. They have all accepted it to be exactly the way it happened. And like I said, even the flying monkeys have to accept the fact that what Harry said is the facts. And I love that for them. It said for every tabloid headline, there's a first handed account from a couple of themselves to be found somewhere. When people can hear directly from Harry and Meghan, they would, why would they trust a newspaper known for sensationalism? Exactly. It's that even public perception has shifted. Many are waking up to the fact that the Sussexes have been subjects of a unique level of scrutiny. Stories targeting Meghan echo the old age old stereotype, and people are calling out the racial and gender undertones. The tabloids' approach feels increasingly out of step with the times, and especially to younger audience who are much less inclined to believe things that they read in print. And that is so true. The tabloids, and I have said this before, they have had the ability for so long to make or break anybody or anything. They have had the power of life and death within their hands for so long, and then they ran up against Harry and Meghan. and they found out that their power was not complete. It was not absolute because they even have to admit now that they have failed. They have failed. And now this whole thing about we want to see Archie, we want to see Lily, we want and all that whole crying and kicking their feet about want Harry to come back. Want Harry to come back. And it says there's also a growing backlash against the monarchy perceiving complexity. Many believe that the nasty stories about Harry and Meghan are deliberately planted to distract from more serious issues involving other royals. Well, we all know that's the truth. And it said this tactic is becoming so transparent it's almost laughable. More people are starting to ask why Harry and Meghan are always partially about clicks. Was always partially about clicks and sales. But the magic is wearing off. Viewers are tired. The couple is reclaiming their voice, and the public is increasingly skeptical. The more the tabloids cling to these tired tactics, these the more the tabloids cling to these tired attacks, the less anyone seems to care. And there you go. Nobody don't care anymore. And they're tired of them. And they see through their nonsense. We do. And I love that for them. I really do. And I want to put this up. And this is an example of what the tabloids are saying now. They know that they have lost and now they're crying. This is a recent posting for the Sun talking about is the real Harry back? Talking about they want their Harry back. We've got the old Prince Harry back. He looks incredibly happy. Well, he's happy because he has overcame. Now, y'all was trying to make him not happy, but they always crying about the old Harry, the one who used to drink all the time, the one who used to fall out of clubs all the time, the one that was in Las Vegas playing strip pool, all of that. That's the Harry that they want back. Talking about we want the old Harry back. Talk about how they miss the old Harry. They miss the old money that old Harry used to make for them. That is what this is about. I'm gonna put this up and it said, I don't normally share the UK tabloids crap on Harry and Meghan, but I couldn't resist this one. Why is the toxic British media so obsessed with the old Harry? And I just said that because the old Harry makes them money. The old Harry makes them money. Harry falling out of a club drunk, that's money. Harry playing strip pool in Las Vegas, front page, that's money. A story planted by Charles, some lie that they had made up to scapegoat Harry, that's money. That is why that they miss the old Harry. Because the old Harry used to make them a boatload of money. I'm just saying. All right, y'all, I'm going to put it this. Of course, Charles is a clown, William is a clown, and if they mess with Harry and Meghan, the Sussex Squad is going to eat their face off. All right, y'all. Bye.